Hello guys, welcome back to Pharma Palette. So today we will be starting the second unit in the Human Anatomy and Physiology 1. In that the first topic is the structure and functions of the skin. So today I will brief out the basic outline of structure and functions of a skin, what are the different layers and what are the important points to be remembered under each layer. Skin is the largest organ of the human body. This acts as a protective cover and it also acts as a barrier against the foreign substances or foreign materials. So before knowing the deeper layers in detail, we have to know its outline. So this is the outline of the skin where the starting part we call it as the epidermis, and the second layer is called dermis, third layer is called as hypodermis, and the last layer is called as subcutaneous layer. Now let's discuss each layer in detail. So the epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin and it is having different types of epidermal cells in it. So there are four main types of cells. In that, the first one is the keratinocytes. These will be having the keratin protein in it, and this keratin protein will be useful for giving the strength to the skin. And the second cells are the melanocytes. These are responsible for producing the melanin, and this melanin will be protecting the skin against the sun. Then this melanin, the amount or the quantity of melanin, it depends on the genes and the amount of the sun exposure. Then we have the Langerhans cells. These will be useful for protecting our body from the foreign materials, and this also useful for providing us the immunity. Then we have the Merkel cells. These are useful for the sensation, which means they will be helpful for knowing the sense of touch, light. These marker cells are useful for the touch and light sensation. So the epidermis layer is subdivided into so this layer we will be calling it as the stratum corneum. This layer is called as the stratum lucidium, and this layer is called as the stratum granulosum. This layer is called as stratum spinosum, and this layer is called as the stratum basilae. So the epidermis is further divided into these layers. So the first layer is called as stratum corneum, and the second layer is called as the stratum lucidium, and the third layer it is called as the stratum granulosum, and these cells will call it as stratum spinosum, and the next layer is stratum basilae, and there is a part which is having the dermal papillae in it, we'll also call it as the corpuscle of touch. So the second most important layer, we call it as the dermis layer. So that is present beneath the epidermis. It has some different elements in it. In that, the first one is the fat fibers. It also has collagen fibers that is useful for making the skin flexible. It has blood vessels that is useful for supplying the blood to the new formed cells, and it also has oil glands that will be generating the sebum, useful for lubrication and protection. And it also useful for releasing the sweat. This sweat is useful for eliminating the salts and minerals like urea. Last layer of the skin is the hypodermis. This is one of the innermost layer. This will be having lot amounts of fat that is stored inside it, that is useful for providing the energy. And this layer we also call it as the subcutaneous layer. That's the quick overview of the skin, how it's built and what it does. But hold on, the real important part is coming in the next video. I will show you the diagram where the structure and functions will be connecting together. Once you see it, it will stick in your head forever. So don't miss it.